I'm Martin Fisher. Welcome to Wembley Stadium, the home of English football, for one of the showpiece occasions in the domestic game. The League One playoff final as Leyton Orient take on Rotherham United. It's a lovely warm afternoon in North London. It's a nervous one for that lot down beneath us in the tunnel. Russell Slade nearest to camera. And on the far side, the Rotherham boss, Steve Evans, glancing down his line. They've conducted their last minute of instructions to their team. And in a few minutes, we'll be off and underway. Leyton Orient and Rotherham United, two clubs separated only by goal difference in the final table of the season. Later today, they'll be divided by a whole division. For the victors, a place in the Championship. A chance to rub shoulders with the likes of Fulham, Cardiff, Norwich, Derby, Forest and Leeds. To the losers, a return to the slog with the less glamorous surroundings of Oldham, Bradford, Colchester and Crewe. There will be tears of joy for some of these players, tears of pain for others. The emotion will be raw from opposite ends of the scale and opposite ends of the ground. Old stadium awash in red today. Rotherham will be wearing their change strip of all grey. Leyton Orient winning the toss to wear red. Both clubs average around about 10,000 supporters on a regular Saturday afternoon. Well, both have brought double that number today. Clark, the chairman of the Football League, leads the fellow dignitaries out to come and meet the combatants. First, the team who finished fourth from South Yorkshire, Rotherham United. The better of Preston North End in their semi-final. 3-1 after a 1-1 draw at Deepdale. With the officials in charge of this game will be David Coots. And now Leyton Orient. We've made the short journey across London from east to north, 11 miles from Leytonstone to Wembley. Leyton Orient who finished third. Russell Slade, their manager, the joint manager of the year in League One. His third playoff final. He lost the previous two. One more preliminary, the national anthem. Players joined in, they all have their own thoughts as we get closer to what for many will be the biggest day in their professional football career. And let's take a check on the two teams for you. Leyton Orient named the same side that got the better of Peterborough United at Brisbane Road in the second leg of their semi-final. Number 4, Romain Vancelot, is the only player with happy memories of the playoffs. A 3-2 win here 4 years ago against Rotherham. Strikers Mooney and Lisby have scored 39 goals between them, but Cox and Odubajo have also hit double figures. Russell Slade favours a 4-4-2 formation, with Vansalo and Lloyd James doing the dirty work in the middle to provide the platform for the wide men and the front two to do the damage. Like Leyton Orient, Rotherham United stick to the lineup that got them past Preston North End in their semi. Only goalkeeper Adam Collin has been to Wembley before. Lee Frecklington has won the League One playoff final before, but his success with Peterborough 3 years ago was won at Old Trafford. James Tavernier and Richard Smallwood, successful loan signings from Newcastle and Middlesbrough respectively. Manager Steve Evans goes with a 4-4-2. Despite playing wide on the right, Kieran Agard has scored 26 goals this season. On the opposite side, Ben Pringle is more of a provider. Number 9, Alex Ravel, is a Leyton Orient old boy. Will he come back to haunt his former employers? There is Ben Pringle, whose former club, Derby County, lost the Championship playoff final here yesterday. He will hope for better fortune today. There is the aforementioned Kieran Agard, who was with Everton in the Premier League before moving to Rotherham United, helped them get out of League Two last season. They're looking for back-to-back promotions for the second time in the club's history. What a job Steve Evans has done since being appointed just over 2 years ago. Looking to enjoy his stay in the sunshine. Russell Slade has dispensed with the sartorial elegance, and instead it's the familiar baseball cap, tracksuit bottoms and overcoat. And what is a very warm afternoon, it has to be said. Lost here with Grimsby in 2004 and with Yeovil 3 years later. So for the 4th season in a row, 3rd meets 4th in the League One playoff final. The last 3 have been won by the team who finished the campaign in 4th place. So that points to a Rotherham triumph today. Only goal difference divided them after 46 games, so it should be tight. Only champions Wolves scored more than this pair, so we should get a few goals along the way to get this crowd of near 50,000 off their seats throughout the day. Early throw from Scars, the flick on from Ravel. Cuthbert first to it for Leyton Orient. Scott Cuthbert, who 4 years ago was in the Swindon team, beaten here in the League One final by Millwall. Pringle. Frecklington, one of the scorers in that second leg, picking out Tavernier. Mazuzi. And here's Dean Cox. Looking to release Lisby. Dealt with by the Rotherham captain, Craig Morgan. Too short, Cuthbert to carry it away. Kari Arnason, the Icelandic international for Rotherham United. Free kick awarded by referee David Coots. Fouled by Vansalo. Immediately has sees the ball. He'll look to create danger here for Jamie Jones in the Leyton Orient goal. Two wonderful deliveries for the opening 2 goals in Rotherham's 3-1 second leg victory over Preston North End. Sweet left foot as he bends that one in. Leyton Orient get the first ball away. Tavernier tries to put the pressure on. Get out as far as Scars. There's a clumsy challenge by Clark. And more than a few Rotherham players stop playing. They prefer to appeal for a penalty here. It's clumsy from the experienced Leyton Orient captain. An incident that's happened too early in the game for referee David Coote to signal a penalty. It shouldn't be that case. Sometimes you do feel on these showpiece occasions, referee is more inclined to err on the side of caution early on. Here's another look at it. It's a forearm into the back, isn't it? It's an escape for Nathan Clark. Situation that has enraged Steve Evans at the other end. Here come Leyton Orient. And Colin swiftly out to smother the danger as Kevin Lisby looked to pounce, the former Charlton man. Good interchange between Mooney and Lisby. Has been a feature of the Leyton Orient season. On by Ravel, in goes Cuthberts. Franklinton down to Agar. To attack that penalty area. He's got support to his right in the shape of Thomas. It's a very good recovery by Omozusi. Initially had been left for dead by the Rotherham wide man. It is a frantic start in the Wembley sunshine. And most experts prior to kick-off were confidently predicting a bright and breezy contest with lots of goals. Certainly as yet, no suggestion of a repeat of yesterday's cagey affair in the Championship final between Queen's Park Rangers and Derby County. Cox beaten by the bounce. Put forward by Agard. Thomas stopped by Clark. Rotherham's 4th stab at the playoffs, yet to taste success. 2 semi-final defeats. And they lost the League 2 final here in 2010 to Dagenham and Redbridge. Joe Scars, formerly of Huddersfield Town, with the throw. Looking for Ravel again. There's Lisby. Barjo. Ben Pringle, who was named in the PFA League One Team of the Year. The only player in either of these teams to have that honour. Just to give you the geography, by the way, Rotherham fans behind the goal, away to our right, Leyton Orient to our left. Agar, 26 goals this season. Tavernier. Not what he was looking for, cut out by Lloyd James. Here's Odebarjo. all too much. And two other presence in this Leyton Orient team. Nathan Clark, the captain, the other. Go back to 1989 for the last time Leyton Orient tasted success in the playoffs, and back then it was a two-legged affair. They got the better of Wrexham to climb out of Division 4. Since then they've lost a couple of finals. Scunthorpe in 1999, and then 2 years later 4-2 here to Blackpool when they took the lead inside 28 seconds. Their first visit to Wembley, this their second. It's been a long time in coming. Adam Collin with the free kick. Dangerously nodded back across, and Agard was denied, and the whistle is gone. And it was Thomas, in fact, who got the final touch. But the referee had blown. In any case, an excellent leap at the back post by Morgan. He's looking ball in too. Mooney trying to make something of it. Adebayo too. And again, the whistle has quickly brought a close to proceedings. First real glimpse of what Dean Cox can produce from wide areas for Leyton Orient. It all stemmed from that poor attempted clearance from Morgan. And Cox really whips his foot around this. And I think the free kick given for Mooney's challenge. Sabrina. Clark temporarily indisposed, but quickly back to his feet as he realised no free kick was going to be given his way. And the fronts of players at the front edge of that penalty area as it hurled in, dealt with by Cuthbert. Cox will keep it in. Forward by Pringle. Oh, it's well claimed. Fracklington couldn't get any pace or power in the shot. It's simple enough take by Jamie Jones. Fracklington got the second goal in that 3-1 win over Preston in the second leg. Wonderful header from a delicious delivery from Pringle. Anselo. Onazusi. Cut out by Frecklington. It's beginning to show signs of bossing the central midfield zone, not Rotherham United's pair of Frecklington and Smallwood. Today, and it would be Steve Evans' fourth promotion of his career after success with Boston and Crawley and Rotherham last season. Steve Evans has got some sun cream on today because it's going to be a warm afternoon down on the bench. Craig Morgan up again from the back, but it's Alex Ravel who heads it across. Hesitant defending from Leyton Orient. Not the best of clearances either, but the whistler's gone again for a foul. It's a good leap this from Alex Ravel, getting the better of Clark. And it just ran away from Thomas and Agard. Touch from either might have caused problems for Jamie Jones in the Leyton Orient goal. Alex Ravel had 3 years at Leyton Orient, and in that time scored 22 goals in 44 games, and many Leyton Orient fans will fear that he will write his name across this fixture for all the wrong reasons. Forward hopefully by Cuthbert, away by Arneson. Baggio was caught after he had released the ball. Leyton Orient with the free kick. Quickly taken, and just a fraction too strong. His fourth official is Mick Russell, and he will have the sound of Steve Evans' voice in his ear for most of the afternoon. And Cullen to launch it again. Bell again the target. Cuthbert to deal with it. Baldry. Cuthbert. Flick on. Thomas unable to get hold though. .15 gone. Still goalless in the League One playoff final, but here comes Cox for Leyton Orient. Headed away by Morgan. And Pringle. Andrew concedes the throw. Frenchmen are virtually ever present this season at the heart of that Leyton Orient defence. Smallwood. Tavernier shots. And fumbled somewhat by Jones, but able to prevent the corner. Tavernier, who joined the club on loan from Newcastle in November, has played in just about all of their games since, has scored a few goals along the way. Started at Everton, Jamie Jones. This is 6th season keeping goal for Leyton Orient. Flicked on by Lisby. Collected by Mooney. Looking for Lisby again. Reclaimed by Omazuzi. Getting it back from Cox. 1 past 2 minutes. Tavernier caught by Cox, who was eager to make up for his misplaced pass. energy, Dean Cox. 16 goals this season, 4 in his last 7 games. Familiar routine as Colin launches it towards Ravel, who continues to get the better of his marker. Into touch. Cuthbert has got a long throw on him. Just waiting for the arrival of Matthew Bowdry, the number 6. Takes up his position on the edge of the Rotherham 6-yard box. Now looking to attack it, he's got the flick on. Rabajo, Cuthbert, scuffed by James. Frecklington for Pringle, keep it moving right. Good backtracking from Leyton Orient. Boundary got a foot in. Free kick, ball was played, referee in a good position. Here's Ben Pringle for Rotherham United. He's got a great left foot, chipping it towards Ravel, looking to tee up Frecklington. Smallwood. Ravel's touch was heavy. Nearly into touch and 15 rows back. Orient's top scorer, Dave Mooney, but just 1 in his last 6 games. Maybe he's saving up for a special one here underneath the arch. James Tavernier with this throw for Rotherham United. And towards Thomas. Out by Cuthbert. Lesby goes to ground all too easily. Given away. Rotherham glides away from Smallwood. Smallwood stuck to his task and got the ball. Morgan looking to release Thomas. It's a very open game. Both teams have settled now. Rotherham. Zusi. James for Lisby. Cox. Lisby takes a tumble. Impeded by Morgan. And a free kick for Leyton Orient in a dangerous area. Sure how much contact Morgan made with Lisby, but Lisby lost his balance under the challenge. An opportunity beckons here for Leyton Orient. Dean Cox, who has been such a significant figure in their season, to whip this ball in. Still the damage not away. Lisby got his head to it. Safely gathered by Adam Collin. His head took it upwards. Lisby's took it into the grateful hands of goalkeeper Colin. Bell beats Clark again. Tavernier trying to shake off Cox. Away by Cuthbert. Ravel. Challenge on Mooney. halfway through the first half. Steve Evans has been requested by fourth official Mick Russell just to calm down a bit. I think the polite term for Steve Evans is colourful. His header on. Tavernier gets something on it. Odebajo. In a corner here, maybe. Scars prevents it. Odebajo gets the better of Pringle. Now a chance to cross. He's done really well. Pep's foot was high. And the pressure is averted. But Pringle and Scars got themselves in a real muddle here. It's not the best of clearances either from Tavernier. It was who was caught by the high boot of Dean Cox. Missed by James, then by Mooney. Here's Tavernier. Long way out.
Orient finished third in the table on 86 points. Rotherham fourth on 86 points, separated by goal difference. Rotherham scored one more but conceded 13 more. Away by Arneson, then by Pringle, forward by Bowdry. Tavernier, finding Ravel. Tavernier, who's here, there and everywhere at the moment, forcing Thomas out wide. Bowdry for company. Bowdry concedes the throw. And there's not much between the teams, is there? 25 minutes gone, still 0-0 at Wembley. Paddy Arneson prepares a long one. Agard looking for the spillages. Morgan charged with trying to win the first ball. That drop here for Pringle. And shadowed by Odebajo. He's found space. He's whipped in a really decent ball. Ravel across. In goes Thomas now. Orient standing firm and looking to break. Odebajo. He's being held by Tavernier. Thomas just touching the front of his head to the back of Bowdry's. Just seeing stars for a moment or two. Joined the club from Bournemouth in January, Wes Thomas. Scored against Leyton Orient in the 2-1 win at home against them back in February. Lisby's flick on, Mooney. That's a full stretch. Tavernier, Pringle. It's dropped for Mooney.
clubs have had their financial struggles down the years. Rotherham went into administration twice. They've suffered points deductions, threatened with liquidation. Back in 2006, Leyton Orient have had a very similar story too. Here they are, just one step away from the second tier of English football. Whoever goes up, it will be a fabulous story. But neither goalkeeper is yet particularly overworked. Mooney! Well, it was a snapshot effort from Leyton Orient's top scorer, Dave Mooney. And some of the Leyton Orient fans at the end of the ground saw the net billow here and thought just for a second it might have gone in, but you can see there it's well wide. It would have been a spectacular finish. There wasn't much of a gap to aim for. Ravel, collected by Thomas. Pringle. So far not quite finding the same kind of range that caused such difficulty for Preston North End in the semi-final. Steve Evans back on the shoulder of fourth official Mick Russell. A header down by Lisby, a header back by Taverna. Cox, Lisby, Vansalo. Cox finding James. It can come right now for Cuthbert. Struggling to keep it in and forced to impede Pringle. And it's the first yellow card of the day. Scott Cuthbert a little bit unfortunate there. The pass just run away from him as he desperately tried to keep it in. Almost put it on a plate to Pringle and then had to stop him swiftly. Scars with it. That's on by Ravel. Continues to win everything in the air, Alex Ravel. Cox. Slow. Leyton Orient enjoyed their best ever start to a season. They were top until mid-November, having won their first 8 matches of the campaign, unbeaten in their first 12. And you expected the bubble to burst. It did to a degree in as far as they lost top spot and slowly slipped out of the second automatic position, but such was the quality around them in the shape of Wolves and Brentford, that was always a possibility. And they've held on to finish third and take their place in the playoffs. And here's Onabaja to the byline. Decent ball in again, well dealt with by Craig Morgan. Excellent clearance from the Rotherham captain. Brilliant run from Odovajo. That's what he's capable of. Cuthbert capable of hurling it in long from these kind of positions. Picked away by Frecklington. Up goes Vansalo. Good as far as Tavernier. And steps Clark. Rotherham get the throw. By Clark, gathered by Cox. His touch was heavy, but well, for a moment it looked as though Lisby might be on his way. Brought down by Morgan, and the card is coming out again. Just watch the arm here of Morgan. Just dragged Lisby to the deck. It was a soft one, but in the eyes of referee David Coote, it was one that merited a yellow. Cox over the set piece. Boundary up from the back. It's too strong for him. It'll drop here for Odovajo! What a goal! What a strike by Moses Odovajo! A goal fit to grace Wembley Stadium if ever there was one. It's all about picking up the pieces here. The first touch got it out of his feet, set up the volley, and it was past Adam Collin before he'd seen it. It's a scorcher from 20-year-old Moses Odovajo. His 12th of the season. And Leyton Orient, little Leyton Orient, take the lead in this League One playoff final. Advantage Leyton Orient. And costly seems that pullback now from Craig Morgan. Odovajo celebrated by taking off his shirt. And he'll have been very fortunate to escape a yellow for that. Just waiting for confirmation that he did definitely get the yellow card. Here's Tavernier. Ravel wins the throw. Odovajo confirmed as being the third player to receive a yellow card. Here's Pringle trying to do something about it at the other end. Frecklington! He was looking for a little bit more elevation than he found there, Lee Frecklington. It's comfortable enough for Jamie Jones. And you can guess it from his expression that his team have just edged in front. Poker face from Russell Slade. From Thomas. Mooney's foul. Well, Rotherham went behind in the second leg of their semi-final at home to Preston. They stormed back to win it 3-1. So don't even think about writing them off just yet. Tavernier with the free kick, headed in by Morgan. is Agard. Well defended by Clark, but it will be a Rotherham corner. First corner of the game. It's Ben Pringle who will go across to take. Lavelle has won everything in the air so far. Can he get his head to this? Pringle goes deep. Jones elects to punch. Still work to be done. But it's comfortable in the end for the goalkeeper. Thomas with the header. The last played in the second tier of English football in 1982, Leyton Orient. But some of their number will be dreaming of a return as Mooney goes looking for goal number 2. It might drop for Adebayo. It's a great ball in, and it's a tap in for Cox. 2-0 Leyton Orient. They're a bit closer now. Barry Hearn leads the celebrations upstairs. The Rotherham defence here at 6s and 7s. Mooney headed away by Tavernier. Adebayo with a lovely ball across. Could have gone for goal here. The angle wasn't the best, but instead pulled it back for Cox, who could not miss. Brilliant awareness from Adebayo. And Cox helps himself. It's all he can do to keep a lid on his emotions. 2-0 Leyton Orient. 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes. What a huge 5 minutes. Goal number 17 for Dean Cox this season. And Rotherham at the moment are all over the show. Adebayo scored 1, set up 1. Looking to tease Scars again here. Back for Cuthbert. Up goes Lisby, away by Tavernier. Adebayo wants it to run, and it will. Such contrasts and expressions at either end of the ground. At the moment, it's falling apart for Rotherham United. Cox with the corner. Andrew unable to get over it. Say for Steve Evans and Rotherham is that there is plenty of time left. They have goals in abundance within their ranks. They've had a rotten 5 minutes though. What they would do for a goal prior to the half-time whistle as Pringle looks to release Fracklington. Thomas be able to make something of that. Stabbed away by Bowdry, cleared by Cuthbert. As far as Leyton Orient are concerned now, Russell Slade will be hoping that they can just keep it as it is until half-time. You don't need to go pressing for a third. Don't let Rotherham back into the contest. Smallwood. Tavernier. Tavernier, good ball. Agar, back for Pringle. He wants it on his favoured left foot. Somehow squeezed the crossover. Boundary to clear. Scars. Madison. Frecklington. Smallwood. It's out by Odebajo. In the last 10 minutes he has had. Lisby into the path of Cox. He's got Vanslow ahead of him, but precious little else. Here's Mooney. James. Scars in a hurry. Can't wait until the half-time whistle, get his players back into that dressing room and sort them out. Mr. Slade acknowledges the applause that have his way all season from the Leyton Orient faithful. Lavelle. For Lisby. Leyton Orient have the ball where they want it. Inside Rotherham territory. As we enter 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half. He goes down into the challenge of Morgan. Last opportunity for Rotherham to reduce the arrears before the half-time whistle. For so long in this first half, there was precious little to choose between the two sides before Odebajo's thunderous drive to give Leyton Orient the lead. Rotherham just lost their way for a few moments, but this is Pringle. That's ambitious! Only just over the crossbar. Well, it was worth a dig, this, from Ben Pringle. Just couldn't quite get it to drop quickly enough. But he got it beyond Jamie Jones. Done with that one going in, Rotherham, just to set them up for a second half recovery. Lavelle behind his two colleagues. Lisby. Scars to clear. Odebajo somehow squeezed it through for Cox. And his referee David Coote blows for half-time. Well, his thunderous drive put Leyton Orient ahead on 34 minutes, and then his vision to pick out Dean Cox at the back post 5 minutes later means Leyton Orient going at the break with a fantastic lead under their belts. Rotherham United have it all to do, and they will have to take more and more risks as the second half progresses. Half-time at Wembley, the job for Leyton Orient half done. It's Leyton Orient 2, Rotherham 0, and the championship is that little bit closer for the little club from East End of London. The job half done for Leyton Orient, and they finish off Rotherham United, who we expect to come at them strongly in the opening 15-20 minutes of this second half. And the challenge for Leyton Orient is to keep them at arm's length. Half-time address from the Rotherham boss, Steve Evans.
Come on!
So Leyton Orient and the Red Getters back underway, no changes to either team during the break. Leyton Orient immediately on the offensive of he tries to win a corner kick off Tavernier. Agard, who was quiet in the first half, such a threat for Rotherham, fails to pick out Ravel. 9 goals in his last 11 games for Kieran Agard. That's on the books as a schoolboy at Arsenal before moving on to Everton. Season in League One for Rotherham, but not a good afternoon today so far. Lisby trying to turn away from Morgan, the Rotherham captain, one of 3 players in the book during the first half. Cuthbert and Olabajo of Leyton Orient, the other 2. And Zusi with the throw. Leyton Orient will feel that a 3rd goal and it really is game over, and a place in the championship is theirs. The next goal so important. Zusi, who started his career in the Fulham Academy, could be playing against him next season. Nearly slipping too easily. Cuthbert told by Clark to knock it back to goalkeeper Jones. Thomas in pursuit all the way through. Pringle. Came close right at the end of that first half with that dipping left-footed effort. Thomas offside. With a chance to move it to Cox to his right. Instead he looks for man to his right, and Rotherham should be able to snuffle this one away. And the ball in the end as it strikes the arm. Just wanted to hear if the better pass would have been square to the left and Cox. Rapidly by Cox. There goes Vansalo. kick has gone Rotherham's way. And it was who punched the deck. Bowdry, the picture of innocence. It's not definite that Ravel got to the ball first and Bowdry clipped him. This would not have been in the game plan for Russell Slade's team to give Rotherham a sight of goals so early on into the second half. Tavernier and Pringle, the two players over this. Jones wants his ball a little bit further across to the left. So it was clearing the crossbar. It was a decent effort. It fails to trouble the goalkeeper. Will feel that he had it covered anyway. Orient actually picked up more points on their travels than they did at Brisbane Road throughout the campaign. This counts as an away game. There's Thomas for Pringle, finding Frecklington, losing out to James. Mooney for Cox. Lawrence through. A bit of a problem here for Moses Sotobajo. Gingerly back to his feet. Both of these players landed somewhat awkwardly. Sotobajo just landing on the leg of Joe Scars. Out by Morgan. Thomas losing out to Bowdry. Blocked. Trying to be blocked by Cox, but he's passed him and passed on Azusi too. Into the path of Frecklington. Can he use it wisely? He's nudged it onto Agard, and eventually free kick has been given. One or two challenges there that could have been interpreted as fouls. Referee David Coote allowed the advantage for as long as he could, but that challenge there has yielded a free kick. Two free kicks in the space of 3 minutes for Rotherham. Their supporters behind that goal sense that they might be a way back into this game after all. Again, it's Tavernier and Pringle over it. This time it perhaps favours the left-footed Pringle. It is Pringle. And it's the same outcome. Top of the net rather than the back of it. Ready to make a change. Richard Brindley will come on. Wes Thomas to be replaced. And I would expect this would mean that Kieran Agard, who has been playing on the right-hand side of midfield, would push up top alongside Alex Ravel, with Tavernier moving to right midfield and Brindley stepping in at right back. We'll see if that is the case shortly. It does look as though Brindley has stepped in at right back. Agard, with all those goals under his belt this season, now might get a sighted goal. Brindley's first involvement. It's a clear foul by Clark, who was leaning all over Ravel. It's a silly free kick to concede. How many more opportunities will Rotherham be given by Leyton Orient to find a way back into this game? This is too far out of course for a shot at goal, but doesn't mean it won't bring a goal. 5 in grey looking to attack it. Tavernier's delivery is good one, and it's going to bring a goal back for Ravel. 10 minutes into the second half and Rotherham are right back in the game, and it's the former Leyton Orient striker Alex Ravel to stab it into an unguarded net. Belief in the Rotherham end, belief amongst the players. Tavernier's delivery, perhaps questions of offside as it was tossed in. Goalkeeper didn't do well enough, and it drops invitingly for Alex Ravel to stretch the leg and get to it ahead of Nathan Clark and bring Rotherham right back into the game. Leyton Orient 2, Rotherham United 1, and here's the reaction of the manager Steve Evans. Just what he wanted. Get me a goal back before the hour mark. And suddenly there's a long, long way to go in this game. Jamie Jones will look back at that moment in horror. Having come for it, he had to get a stronger fist to it. Agar. Ravel. Tavernier. And they were quiet during the half-time interval. Many must have feared that their dream of championship football was slowly disappearing. Not now, it isn't. Pressure right on Leyton Orient again. It's a long throw from Kalianason. Missed opportunity, he's tossed the ball straight out of play. Comes Jones, and he fails to get a strong fist on it. Bounces off Vansalo, and it's your day, it's your day. And rolled into the path of Ravel, and he couldn't really miss. Off Arneson and behind, Leyton Orient's corner. Well, we talked about the prospect of goals prior to kick-off, and we haven't been disappointed. 171 between them during the season. Dean Cox with this corner as Leyton Orient look to restore their 2-goal advantage. It won't quite drop for Lisby. And it's cleared towards Agar. Stopped by Onobajo, who then went through his man. Now he has been booked, remember, Onobajo. And he was booked earlier for the celebration of his goal, and it's a flimsy challenge on Frecklington. Referee David Coote just bringing Nathan Clark across. I think just to say to Onobajo, calm down. Onobajo trying to say, I'm calm. He's got away with it. Pringle's free kick. Such a waste. And he's capable of so much better than that. Rotherham in the ascendancy at the moment. I feel that they need to make the most of this turnaround in the situation. Grab it while it's there. Leyton Orient are just rocking at the moment. Run by Arneson. Lisbon squeezing it through for Adebayo. Pushed off it by Pringle. Nodded away by Clark. Gobbled up by Ravel. Good effort from Ravel! What a goal! What a goal by Alex Ravel! Leyton Orient scored twice in 5 minutes in the first half. Alex Ravel and Rotherham have done exactly the same. And we're all square at Wembley. Well, how many times is it that a former player comes back to haunt you on the big day? Alex Ravel had 3 years with Leyton Orient. And he scored 2 goals early in this second half now to completely turn this game around. It's a fabulous goal. Spotted that Jamie Jones was off his line, backed himself and pulled it off. It's another horror moment for Jamie Jones. Great celebrations for Steve Evans. Trousers just about staying on. 2-2 in a final that always promised goals. Who's your money on now? Leyton Orient 2, Rotherham United 2. A goal every bit as good as that from Moses Adebayo in the first half. Now, what a Leyton Orient made of. Lisbon. Cox has gone for the return. Here is Cox. The second time of asking by Adam Collin. Encouraging response from the Londoners. Here's Pringle. Blocked by Cuthbert, came off Pringle again. It'll be a Leyton Orient throw. And now it's the turn of those Leyton Orient fans to fear the worst. It looks so good for them at half-time. It's not all over yet. But the tie has been wrestled from them in brilliant fashion from a determined Rotherham team who never know when they're beaten. Omazuzi. Vansalo. Omazuzi. Frecklington taking a bit of a risk inside his penalty area. Just trying to regain some kind of composure. Mooney, Adebayo, it's a good tackle from Smallwood. Frecklington now. Confidence oozing through Rotherham United at the moment. Strength from Frecklington. Into Vernier. Blocked by Clark. Free kick. That's a yellow card for the Leyton Orient captain. Conceded 3 quick free kicks in this second half, and that enabled Rotherham to get a foothold in the game. Ravel's first, quickly followed by his second. And now they're really playing with their tails up, looking to go ahead here as Tavernier whips one in. Back in by Scars, away by Vansalo. Can Leyton Orient come again? Drilled in there in the nick of time. It won't quite fall for Adebayo. Travell, we're now empty at the moment. He has to take a few deep breaths. That's a spell for him in this second half. No time to stop and enjoy it. Place in the championship still up for grabs. Brindley. Rotherham looking in control now. Arneson forward. Cuffed it away. The drop for Vansalo. Mooney. Now Cox. Mooney. To Lisby. Couldn't get over it. In recent weeks, Mr. Slade has made a change up top with about 20 minutes to go. It's usually Sean Batt replacing Kevin Lisby. Meanwhile, they've got a model developing there as Agard looked to profit from hesitation between Bowdry and Jones. Leyton Orient just need some time on the ball. They need to regain their composure and start again. The game is running away from them. They have to realise that they're still very much in it. They're not losing. It's 2-2. And they can still come away with joy from this one. Mooney. Adebayo. Amazuzi. Back goes Clark. James. Led by Morgan. Away by Clark. This is Mooney. Cox to his right. Adebayo out that side as well. Here is Adebayo. Lisby waits to the back post. Brilliantly cleared by Arneson. That's more like it from Russell Slade's team. Excellent defending from the Icelandic international. Had to get that right. Hearts pounding at both ends of the ground as this corner is swung over. Tavernier bundled to the deck by James. No wonder he didn't celebrate too much in the first half as they took that 2-0 lead. He knew that Steve Evans Rotherham always had the capacity to come back strongly. Few expected it to come this early on. But the balance of play is going the way of the South Yorkshire team at the moment. Jones. Lisby wins the first header, but fouling Anderson as he did so. It's a nasty one. Lisby will claim that he was raising his arms for elevation. Well, it's worth having another look at this goal. It was so well hit. One touch to bring it down, and as soon as he'd done that, he'd sized up the situation. Had a look there to see where the goalkeeper was. He's off his line. Can I do it? Catches it just right. It is perfect. Joy unconfined. If it's the exhilaration of the occasion or the celebration of that second strike, but he's looked exhausted ever since he found the back of the net with it. Cox hurriedly forward, losing possession. Arneson. Pringle. Frecklington. Steps inside Vansalo. This is Scars. Lisby fouled by Arneson, was it? And in the eyes of the assistant referee far side. Michael Salisbury was right in front of that incident, saw nothing wrong. See what Russell Slade made of it. And there's the positioning of the assistant referee. Vansalo. From Rotherham looking for Agard, but Rotherham can come again with Tavernier. Trying to shake off Vansalo. Henchman sticking to him like glue, and Tavernier eventually slipping. But Pringle's reclaimed it. Stopped by Omazusi. Cox. Oh, came off the referee. Agard, Pringle breaking to his left. This is Ravel. Now Brindley. Smallwood. Puffed it off the chest, but only as far as Pringle. Orient can't clear their lines. Scars. Down by Ravel. Cleared in a manner of fashion by Vansalo. Lost his footing as he got it away. Goes down holding his side. How many times has Ravel won that kind of knockdown? And Vansalo was just trodden on by Lee Frecklington here. Wearing a few stud marks for the rest of the day. Leyton Orient make their first change of the game. And for once, it's not Kevin Lisby making way for the arrival of Sean Batts. Instead, it's the second goal scorer, Dean Cox. His 5th goal in 8 games, his 17th goal of the season. When he made it 2-0, 6 minutes shy of half-time, Leyton Orient felt that the place in the Championship was almost theirs already, but what's a recovery from Rotherham. On comes Sean Batt, a winner in the playoff final 4 years ago with Millwall against Swindon. And Chris Dagnall will be coming on too. And money would be on Lisby to come off for his arrival, but that's a minute or so away. In the meantime, it's Arneson with this throw. And they haven't dealt with it again, Leyton Orient. Frecklington arriving, couldn't provide the purchase that he was looking for. But look how many Leyton Orient players here attacked the ball, and none of them got to it. Batt's won it. Won by Mooney. Lisby. Shadowed by Arneson. Can Batt make anything of that? Pringle was the man making the challenge. Batt went to ground very easily. Pringle none too happy with that. Referee not falling for it. Well, that's naughty by Batt. Lisby will be replaced. Rarely plays beyond the 70-minute mark. 35 years of age now, and the legs have given their all. But if they are to get over the finishing line today, Leyton Orient, Kevin Lisby's involvement is over. Chris Dagnall, who scored what turned out to be the crucial second goal against Peterborough in the second leg of their semi-final at Brisbane Road to earn them this place at Wembley, comes on with a chance to write an even bigger story. And immediately Dagnall wins the free kick. The yellow card is coming out here. And now the yellow card is shown. We've got a second change for Rotherham. Now Joe Scars hobbled off a moment or two ago to have some stitches. And so Robert Milson, who began his career at Fulham, in his days there played against Manchester United in the Premier League, will come on. Milson replacing Scars. Leyton Orient with the free kick. Dagnall for Batt. Two substitutes looking to combine here. Led by Arneson. Arneson there again. Loose. It's Batt against Milson. Knocked out by Pringle. It's a poor clearance. It's a decent delivery. Oh, there were three in red trying to get a touch. In between them, Mooney and Bowdry. And Dagnall couldn't find the touch that was required. Really good ball in from Lloyd James. All it required was a faint touch. Dagnall so close. Information that James Tavernier has been booked for throwing the ball away earlier. 5 in the referee's notebook now. To chase. Clark happy happy to just put it into touch. Today's attendance, 43,401, roughly 20,000 for each team today. Brindley's delivery, looking towards the goal scorer, Ravel. Rotherham United have only suffered 2 defeats since New Year's Day, and they've shown all of their determination in this fabulous second-half recovery. And those defeats were both away from home against teams in excellent form. Sheffield United, who climbed up the division so impressively, and the champions Wolves. That was a 6-4 defeat on Good Friday. Will they be joining Wolves in the Championship next season, or will it be Leyton Orient? Here's Odabajo. He's got Omazuzi if he wants him to his left, maybe not now. Mansolo. That's the wrong option from Odabajo. Into the last 10 we go. Ravel's won it again. Boundaries overcooked that. Well, says the referee. James looking long. Bagnall offside. Well, he must feel deep down that his team have tossed away a brilliant opportunity to clinch this with ease. But it's still there for them. I just feel though that the momentum is with Rotherham. Collins' deep kick. Up goes Tavernier. Up goes Vansalo. Helped on by Agar. Helped away by Clark. Arneson. Cuthbert now. Boundary. This is Bat, looking to get those long legs moving. And he worked this to the left where Omazuzi is waiting. Instead gets his head down and is stopped by Brindley. Pringle closed down by Vansalo. There are some tired legs out there. There'll be certainly some very tired minds. Omazusi. Odabajo. Here's Dagnall. Mooney. Dagnall. Odabajo. In the way Frecklington. Rotherham well drilled. Tavernier looking for Agard. He's got away from Boundary. It's Kieran Agard. That's his first real strike of goal. Rotherham's top scorer unable to test Jamie Jones. But these were anxious moments for Boundary. His miscue, and suddenly opportunity beckoned for Kieran Agard. Seven minutes to go. Have we reached next goal wins yet? Quite drop for Mooney. Will fall for Omazusi. Plans at the moment caught in two minds. Do we twist and go for it, or stick with what we've got and hope we can do enough in extra time to win it? shared feeling amongst players in both teams is please don't let it be me that makes the mistake. There's Joe Scars, who's had to come off. And stitches inserted in that wound to his face. It's a blow for him. It's an opportunity for others. Opportunity knocks here for Scott Cuthbert with a long throw. Ball is the decision. Andrew it is who was using all parts of his anatomy to try and get control of this bouncing ball. Well, both teams will be exhausted, but given the pattern of the game, the way Rotherham United have come back into it, the way Leyton Orient have tossed away a 2-0 lead, you will feel that the greater mental fatigue will be felt by the team wearing red. Certainly their supporters look much more anxious. Respites maybe before the final chapter unveils as Batty's caught by Pringle. Here comes the card again. (3-3) in yellows, 2-2 in goals. Sure that Pringle needed to make that challenge. There were others that were well positioned to stop Bat in his tracks. Can Leyton Orient win it from here? In goes the free kick, headed away by Arneson. Cuthbert gets to it in the nick of time ahead of Franklinton. Odabajo trying to get away from Brindley, just about kept it in, and he's found Dagnall. Dagnall's cutback is a good one. Back couldn't get to it first. Hurriedly forward by Clark. More pressure on Arneson. Again, he stands up to it. And booted into space far side, collected by Pringle. Leyton Orient labouring as they look to get back. In goes the cross for Agard. It's the best ball that Pringle has delivered all afternoon. Agard just couldn't get his head to it. Give Pringle this kind of time and he is capable of producing quality. And Agard just couldn't get his legs right. It's off the shoulder in the end. Thought he was in to make it 3-2 with less than 3 to go. Surely that would have been the winner. Surely now we're going to extra time, or maybe not. Remember how late it was yesterday when Queen's Park Rangers scored the winner. That was in the 90th minute. Cuthbert's throw. Away by Small. Agard and Bowdry both go down. Ravel ploughs a lone furrow, gets his head up and picks out Tavernier. He wasn't aware that Odabajo was right on his heels. James Mooney into the path of Odabajo. It's a tired pass looking for Dagnall. His fresh legs will keep it in. Arsenal unable to gather. Pringle. At the last minute we go, he's overrun it. Stopped by James. Game stretched. Frecklington. Lagarde. Frecklington. Agard near post. Ravelli's far. Agard! And he found space at the near post. Chances are beginning to fall his way. And he usually doesn't need many before he finds the back of the net. Nilsson. 5 minutes of added time to come. 5 minutes won't be enough to find a winner for either team. Ravel with a flick on. Agard stopped just by Clark. And Clark there again. Arneson. And great composure. Pringle. Smallwood. Took his time to pick the pass. He's found Frecklington. Held up by Cuthbert. In comes the cross. Two in Gray Waite. That's Tavernier. This is tension. 1 minute you think your team might get the winner, the next you fear that they might concede the winner. Leyton Orient's throw. Once more, Scott Cuthbert will hurl one in. Not the distance he was looking for. Ransolo. For James. Mooney. And with a corner here off Milson. Yes, he can. That's what he played for. That's what he's got. How can he and his teammates settle the game here? Is this the moment when Leyton Orient clinch a place in the Championship next season? Nathan Clark is in the mix. In it comes, goalkeeper comes and doesn't get anywhere near it. James, plenty of time to measure what he wants to do. Montevarjo's reclaimed it. James tries for a third time. Tavernier flicks it on. Clark. Back for Omazusi. It's a late rally from Leyton Orient. Game they thought they'd won in the first half. Pushing hard to win. Deep into injury time. Arneson forced to concede a corner. Will it drop Mooney's way? Bowder in there too, Clark in there as well. It will drop for Mooney. And in the way was Arneson. It's another corner for Leyton Orient. They're certainly cranking up the pressure now. Everybody back for Rotherham, having fought so hard to get themselves back into this game. They do not want to let it slip now. 90 seconds left. Lloyd James with a corner, doesn't beat the first man. last minute of injury time. Roman Vansalo for Leyton Orient. In steps Arneson. Pringle takes over. Given away to Omazusi. Clark pushing it deep. And it looks as though both teams have settled for extra time. Tavernier. Tavernia's ball in is a good one. And Agard took it off the toe of his colleague, and Pringle's half volley is over the bar, and the referee blows for time. And we are heading for an extra 30 minutes here after a rip-roaring comeback from Rotherham United. Thanks to Alex Ravel. 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes just prior to the hour mark in this second half. All square after Russell Slade's team were 2 up at the break through Odebajo and Cox. Well, we thought that it would be tight. We thought that we would have goals. We've been proved correct on both of those counts. So off we go again. And the first half of extra time begins with the teams kicking the same way as they did in the second half of normal time. 2-2. Odebajo and Cox for Leyton Orient in the first half, 2 from Alex Ravel in the second. Both teams have had 3 players booked. Both teams have made 2 substitutions. Here's Scott Cuthbert. Looking for Bat, who wins the throw off Milson. So far, Rotherham have dealt with his long throws admirably. And goes the latest. Ravel there again to clear this one. Omazusi. Full for Dagnall. Hurried clearance by Milson. Long from Cuthbert again. This time it's Arneson who wins it. And a drop for Pringle. Odebajo attacking it. Underneath it. Tavernier away from Mooney, who is looking particularly tired. Agard. Tavernier. Away James. Neither team will want penalties, and equally neither team particularly keen to overcommit themselves and leave a gap that might be exploited and might bring a winning goal for the opposition. As he committed that error, Tavernier being grabbed by Mooney. Out comes the card again. No option here for Mooney because Tavernier was running into open space. Mooney had to stop him, legally or otherwise. Here's the free kick. Out it goes, courtesy of Cuthbert. That's first touch, not the best, but the second more effective. Dagnall couldn't get hold of it. One from Cuthbert. Out by Milsom. Milsom's in no rush. Attacking it was Clark. It's an awkward one for Boundary. Good strength by Agard, and he's won the throw. Players in the division scored more goals than Kieran Agard this season. Sam Bordelcom, Hassan Malonga. Rabella's done the damage for Rotherham today. Still on a hat-trick, remember. He's got the flick on, and it's a brilliant save from Jamie Jones. That was magnificent. He was at fault for either of the Rotherham goals earlier today. Well, he's just made up for some of it there. It was a fabulous reflex save of his own man, Scott Cuthbert. Spared his blushes. Pringle with a resultant corner. Less effective from Jamie Jones. Complaining that he's been impeded on his route to the ball. It's another corner though. Pringle to try again. Lose it there, but he has. It's Dagnall. Mooney, the only player in red ahead of him. And look at the break to the left by Vansalo. Instead, it's Dagnall. Goalkeeper spilt it. Tavernier has lost it, and Mooney can come again. Mooney, great effort, just over the bar. What excitement at either end. Adam Collin took a right old knock here, as Mooney tried to put it into the path of Dagnall. Tavernier so heavy-legged. Mooney just looking to dink it over a stricken goalkeeper. Well, chance at both ends for either team to hit the front in extra time. Zusi. Plenty back for Rotherham. It's good defending. Zusi is out of the game. And it's Frecklington for Rotherham. Alex Ravel. Frecklington has pulled up with cramp, but it doesn't matter too much at the moment because this is Agard. Forced wide by his heavy first touch. Got away from Boundary here. It's a good recovery from the Frenchman, got the ball. Mooney turning into trouble. Players falling all over the pitch. Cuthbert, just get the impression that one or two in grey are looking particularly tired at the moment. Frecklington is struggling. Tavernier likewise. This is James, tired ball in. Offside. Frecklington just moving a little gingerly at the moment. by Smallwood. That's awkward. Still, it's Clark who deals with it. Bat. He should be fresh, having only come on late in that second half. He's found the other sub, Mooney. Here's Olabajo. Now Vansalo. This is Cuthbert. Dagnall. Looked upwards rather than away by Morgan. Smallwood makes a better fist of clearing his lines. Vansalo. Omozusi. Good spell this for Leyton Orient. Can they hurt Rotherham? Mooney. It's a poor clearance. Olabajo, who started the scoring off this afternoon with his head down. Winning the throw. Turn of the Leyton Orient fans behind that goal to make the noise. 5 minutes just over remain in the first period of this extra time spell. Omozusi. Mooney. Russell Slade's Leyton Orient looking for their 6th promotion. The last came 8 years ago when they finished 3rd in League Two. This would be much more dramatic, much more of a story as well. But Rotherham have still got a huge part to play in this themselves as they bid for their 8th promotion. 2-2, nothing between the sides. Forward towards Agard. Clark gets just enough on it. Ravel, another who can barely move out there. James, perhaps one of the freshest. Dagnall's flick on. Mooney offside. Managers still have 1 substitutes available to them. Both just biding their time for the moment. Mooney. And it's a tight pass at the end of it. 4 Leyton Orient players are the game at the moment as Pringle knocks it forward for Ravel. On in turn to Agard. Well played by Jamie Jones. James. Cuthbert. The energy of Vansalo. Forcing Arneson to concede the throw. Cuthbert goes short this time with a throw. Bat. And wrestles his way beyond Milson. Goes down under the challenge of Pringle, right on the edge of the area. Free kick Leyton Orient with 2 minutes remaining. The first period of injury time. Bats made the most of it, but Pringle didn't get the ball. Did catch his foot. Lloyd James is over the free kick. Mooney trying to get clear of Smallwood at the back post. Everybody back for Rotherham. In it goes, and the header from Clark just flashes wide. And he could barely get off the floor here. Nathan Clark certainly couldn't get over the ball properly to guide it into the bottom right-hand corner of Collins' goal. Longer Rotherham will leave it before they have to take off Alex Ravel. He's an absolute passenger at the moment. He'll be desperate to carry on, but he can't walk. Well, that's it. Steve Evans has seen enough. Struggling to contain Leyton Orient at the moment, and virtually down to 10. So Alex Ravel, whose brilliant brace have given Rotherham every chance of booking their dream ticket into the Championship next season, has to exit stage right with 15 minutes to go of this, and he will never tire of seeing that goal. He's done his bit. Now, like the Rotherham United fans, all he can do is sit and watch. And maybe Vukic, another on loan from November, can have an impact. Tavernier arriving at the club from Newcastle at the tail end of the winter. Tavernier, though, he's not enjoyed many starts in League One for Rotherham. Boundary put out by Smallwood. Brindley. Robajo. Mooney. It's just a bit too much of Dagnall. Just checks his watch and blows. Having played 1 additional minutes in the first period of extra time. So, still 2-2. We're getting closer to a penalty shootout deciding which of these sides will leave League One for the Championship next season. Strictly speaking, it's supposed to be an immediate turnaround between the first and second periods of extra time, but as you can see, the referee, David Coote, is amongst those in need of some water. Will the next 15 minutes decide the game, or are we heading to a penalty shootout? 2-2 after the first period of extra time. Leyton Orient have made their final change. Number 24, John Lundstrom, is on for Dave Mooney. To take this free kick. Craig Morgan looking to attack it at the edge of the penalty area. Knocked away by Robajo. Smallwood across to Brindley. And away Lundstrom. On loan from Everton early this season, was in the Championship on loan with Yeovil. Nelson's throwing. Frecklington, now Tavernier. Brindley. Small. Nilsson spare to his left. Pringle. To poke it through the hole that was blocked by Lundstrom, and the fresh legs of the latest substitute to arrive on the field. Looked like he was going to run away from Milson there, not so. Brindley. Aware of the presence of Agard, has to hook it clear. Yamazusi, Monavaggio, Lundstrom, who helped Doncaster to promotion from League One last season, looking for a double of some sorts. Of course, Doncaster didn't have to go through the playoffs. They did it at the last kick of the regular season. Clearance by Brindley. Forward by Cuthbert. This is Bat, and he's found Dagnall. Dagnall, oh, he couldn't get his legs in the right position as he tried to turn inside Arneson. It's good work from the Icelandic international. This looked threatening. It was a tight call, but the flag stayed down, and Dagnall caught in two minds. Will there be a better chance in extra time, I wonder? Arneson keeps Rotherham in it. Dagnall's flick on. Bat beaten to it by Arneson. Lukic. Good tackle by Lundstrom. Cuthbert getting forward from right back. Where's he found this energy from? It will fall here for Monavaggio. And James. Pass for Onazusi. Lundstrom. Cuthberts. Now it's going to be a truly dramatic climax to the League One season. 10 minutes of extra time to find a goal or the drama of a penalty shootout. That goes back, cleared by Morgan. Another who can barely move. Boundary. Monavaggio bringing it back from Dagnall. Didn't have to play it. Lots of long throws for Leyton Orient from the right-hand side from Cuthbert. Now we're to get a long one from the left from Nathan Clark. Taking that near post. Pringle has to grow to clear. It's James with a shot. Dagnall helped it goalwards, but it was blocked again. Back in by James. Desperate defending by Rotherham. Cleared in a tired fashion by Arneson. But Rotherham looking to launch the counter now. It's Smallwood. Forwards towards Agard. Cuthbert driving away from the penalty area. He's picked up Tavernier. With plenty back now, and it's Omazusi who launches it into touch. Vukic. Reclaimed by Lundstrom. Pass was too hurried. Nilsson. Smallwood, hopefully forward. Mazusi finding Alabajo. Nilsson. Won by Vansalo. Off goes Alabajo. Out by Smallwood. It's a Rotherham throw. With 6 to go. I'm surprised they can even watch this. It is so tense. Arneson's throw, dealt with by Clark. Arneson back for Smallwood. This is Vukic. Pringle. Careless pass. Back showing great strength, but not the touch required. Omazusi just about did enough to keep it in play. Tavernier to concede the throw. He can't watch anymore. I'm not surprised. Cuthbert. Dagnall the target. Won by Arneson, who's been superb at the back for Rotherham. Nelson making a right meal of clearing his lines. Vansalo. Lundstrom. Omazusi. Alabajo. Now Bat. Collected here by Frecklington. Agard. Now Tavernier. Here's Vukic. Fellow Newcastle loanee Tavernier there to help. Vukic with a shot. Flicked off the head of Boundary and behind for the corner. standing up to get a better view of what might be the winning goal. 3 minutes of extra time remain. Morgan is up. Arneson is up. Tavernier will take. Keeper can't get to it. Headed away by Mansolo. Navajo does want to lose it there. Another knock for Frecklington. No sympathy from Onabajo. It's Lundstrom forward. Back looking to stretch the Rotherham rearguard. Chased by Milson. Pringle is back there too for Rotherham. Not many in red up to support Bat in this attack, but he has found Dagnall. And stabbed into touch by Morgan. And Frecklington is out of the game. Rotherham are down to 10. One last long throw from Scott Cuthbert. In she goes. Out she goes, but not very far. Omozusi carefully plonked one in. It'll drop for Cuthbert. Lundstrom. Omozusi. Is it hit and hope? It might drop here for Vansalo. His effort blocked. And it's now or never from open play. One last long throw from Scott Cuthbert. He's hurled numerous of these missiles in throughout the afternoon, and Rotherham have dealt with all of them. What about this one? Not deep enough. Pringle gets his head to it and stays down. In again from Clark. Should be the goalkeepers, and is. If Rotherham will have enough players fit enough to take the penalties. Clear it, the shout from the Leyton Orient touchline. Minutes of extra time, failed to produce a winner. This one will go to penalties. After a roller coaster 120 minutes, Russell Slade's Leyton Orient 2 up at half-time through Onabajo and Cox. Felt that they had 1 foot in the championship. That terrific recovery from Steve Evans, Rotherham. 2 strikes from Alex Ravel, the former Leyton Orient striker, had us level at an hour. We've been that way since. And now it's all about who accepts the responsibility of hitting the back of the net from 12 yards. Few instructions from referee David Coote to both goalkeepers. Staying on the line and not moving off it, not moving forward. So, are you ready? First player forward for Rotherham United their top scorer this season, Kieran Agar. "26 goals throughout the campaign. Can he put Rotherham in front in the shootout? Yes, he can. So for the first time this afternoon, the team from South Yorkshire lead. First up for Leyton Orient, Lloyd James scored 3 penalties during the regular season. And scores this one too. Emphatically put away by Lloyd James. Lee Frecklington next up for Rotherham. Could barely walk at the end of extra time. Oh, he's found the bottom corner, and it's well saved by Jamie Jones. Went for accuracy and lost some of the pace and power. And Jamie Jones makes it advantage Leyton Orient. Lundstrom for Leyton Orient. Brilliant. Leyton Orient in front. Ben Pringle now for Rotherham. The set-piece specialist, Ben Pringle. Makes it look easy. Rotherham back in it at 2-2, but they've taken 1 penalty more. Up steps the captain, Nathan Clark. One of Leyton Orient's ever-presence this season. To restore the lead. 3-2 Leyton Orient. James Tavernier, on loan from Premier League club Newcastle United. If he misses this, Leyton Orient are nearly there. Is there a tremble as he puts the ball down? It's not the longest of run-ups. Brilliant. Such a confident kick. Need something from their goalkeeper Adam Collin, and they need it soon. It's going to be the Frenchman Mathieu Baudry. Adam Collin just comes off the goal line just to try and psych him out of things. Mathieu Baudry, he's had a terrific game, but he's missed from the spot. Adam Collin does his bit for Rotherham. And we're all square again. Not the best penalty you'll ever see. The other 3 from Leyton Orient have all been so good. This one wasn't. Adam Collin guessed correctly and kept it out. Richard Smallwood, another loanee at Rotherham, to put Rotherham in front, which he does. Steve Evans, one save penalty away from the Championship. Suddenly, all the pressure on Chris Dagnall. Again, Adam Collin off his goal line, just to psych out the penalty taker. Dagnall's not catching his eye. Dagnall to keep this game alive. Saved by Adam Collin. Rotherham have won it with 2 penalty saves from Adam Collin. Leyton Orient ahead during the match, ahead during the penalty shootout, but Rotherham United have come back twice to grab that Championship place for themselves. What drama at Wembley Stadium, what joy for those supporters of Rotherham United, and what a chapter in the story of Steve Evans and this club from South Yorkshire. Back-to-back promotions. 2 down at half-time, they drew level. Trailing in the penalty shootout, they drew level and then won it. Adam Collin with 2 saves from Matthew Bowdry and then Chris Dagnall, and it's a 3rd miserable experience in the playoffs for Russell Slade. And Leyton Orient stay in League One after such a terrific campaign. You can't help but feel so sympathetic towards them, particularly for Messrs Bowdry and Dagnall, who missed from the spot. The joy belongs to Alex Ravel and Rotherham United. Day at Wembley that has brought so much drama. That is the story. After extra time, Leyton Orient 2, Rotherham United 2. In the penalty shootout, Rotherham win by 4-3. Adam Collin on his 3rd visit to Wembley. Lost the Football League trophy here with Carlisle 4 years ago, then won it with the same club a year later. This will taste even sweeter. Rotherham United back in the 2nd tier after a 9-year absence. trip upstairs to collect that piece of silverware, but it's a journey that they will enjoy. No tired legs now as they climb those stairs. With plenty of celebratory pats on the back to help them along their way. The contrast in emotions and expressions at either ends of the ground could not be greater. Brought them level, and all so unlikely at half-time. He just had to watch as his teammates step forward to do the business from the spot. Adam Cullen produced those saves to keep out first Boundary and then Dagnall. There is the Rotherham United chairman, Tony Stewart, who leads the applause. The team assembled by Steve Evans has done this lot so proud. From League Two to the Championship in 2 seasons, after an absolute thriller in the Wembley sunshine. Craig Morgan prepares to exhibit that trophy that says Rotherham United are back in the Championship after a 9-year absence. Back-to-back promotions after one of the most dramatic afternoons at the famous old Wembley Stadium. It all seemed to be going horribly wrong at half-time. Those goals from Olivaggio and Cox have seemingly put Leyton Orient on course for that Championship place. But Steve Evans delivered the message at half-time that inspired his team to recover so swiftly with that brace from Alex Ravel. Now Rotherham United will be rubbing shoulders with Yorkshire neighbours, the giants of Leeds United and Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship next season. They kiss goodbye to League One, Sheffield United, Barnsley and Doncaster Rovers. Today, after such a dramatic afternoon, belongs to Rotherham United.